It takes courage. It takes passion. It takes determination to make the ordinary extraordinary. It is the undying spirit of India that keeps the vision alive. The vision of nurturing the legends, the vision of staying ahead, and the vision of beating the odds always. The 12th South Asian Games epitomize this unwavering spirit. The Games, hailed as the best South Asian Games ever, initially met with a lot of skepticism. But it was the unaltered focus of the organizing team, which aimed at the target of smooth planning and execution, that they surpassed all odds. One can say that the organizers donned the avatar of Arjun, who despite all the challenges hit right at the fish's eye.
Organization of Games at Guwahati and Shillong have proved that the Honorable Prime Minister's policy is not only lookish but actish.
It was barely a few months before the scheduled commencement date of the event that Guwahati and Shillong were chosen as the venues. These two densely populated cities with small roads, hectic traffic conditions, one airport, poor sports infrastructure and no games village made them an unconventional venue to host an international sporting event of this magnitude.
When I joined the Department of Sports, at that time South Asian Games were staring in our face. Time constraint was very much there. Added to that was resource constraint, because there was a very limited fund available to conduct the games. The infrastructure was to be made ready within a period of about 100 days. And to add to that, Guwahati did not have a games village, neither had Shillong.
Putting together this grand event was a mammoth task in itself. It demanded intense work and efficient execution. The organizing committee of the Commonwealth Games 2010 swung into action and laid the groundwork for the successful execution of the Games. It began with analyzing the requirements of the Games, and based on that, the team designed the operational plan for every functional area as well as a Games master schedule.
To monitor the progress, there was one Games master schedule which was prepared, and we had a total of about 1,100 tasks which were to be done and achieved in time for delivery of the Games.
To deliver this multi-sporting event successfully, it was imperative for the organizers to meet the expectations of each and every sport and facilitate the players with stadiums matching the global standards. 12 venues in Guwahati and 6 in Shillong were chosen to hold the 23 disciplines of the Games. Most of these venues required major upgradation, and some had to be constructed right from the ground up. Despite the paucity of time, the undying willpower continued to deliver the best.
12 South Asian Games, both at Guwahati and Shillong, right from the word go, was a great challenge, and it was a race against time.
Due to paucity of time, we had to work very hard. We had deployed a large number of officers and manpower of various departments at various venues in order to bring the infrastructure up to the mark.
The flagship Indira Gandhi Athletic Stadium in Guwahati was given a splendid makeover. The venue with 35,000 seating capacity, 8-lane synthetic athletic track, video matrix scoreboard, High-mast lighting arrangements and a flame torch was further renovated to go a notch higher to meet the international standards. In Dr. Zakir Hussain Aquatics Complex, Guwahati, major repair and upgradation work in terms of heating system and filtration plant was carried out to bring it to Olympic standards. 4 new international standard squash courts were built at the famous R.G. Barua Sports Complex, Guwahati. These squash courts were a new addition to the sports infrastructure development for the Games in a record time of 52 days. At Shillong, Jawaharlal Nehru Sports Complex Football Stadium, Indoor Hall and Polo Ground were among the main game venues. The complex was upgraded with new flooring, seating for the spectators and overall cleaning and painting. The arena lights were repaired and new approach roads were laid, among other repair works. The Sai SAG Centre, Nehu Shillong, was chosen for the most popular sports, badminton and boxing. A meager amount of 20 lakhs was spent on repair and upgradation of floors with imported maple wood. In addition, improved lighting system was put in place and the whole complex was upgraded to suit the international competitions. Similar determined efforts helped to create world-class sporting infrastructure suitable for this mega international sports event. Work happened round the clock and in record time, all the venues were games ready. A games village is always the heart of a big sporting event. But the paucity of time made it impossible for the organizers to develop the same. To address this challenge, a detailed reconnaissance of almost all the hotels in Guwahati and Shillong was conducted and the suitable ones were shortlisted.
We immediately identified all the hotels and decided which were the ones which met the mark for hosting this kind of a event. We practically booked every room which was still available at the hotels which met the mark.
Keeping the cultural sensitivities in view, the contingents were lodged country-wise and accordingly the diet, food and nutrition as per the athletes' requirements were taken care of. A lot of effort was made to maintain the similarity in quality of food and service across all hotels.
The biggest challenge was how do you maintain the quality of the food. So we had a lot of food inspectors both in Guwahati and Shillong who ensured not only the quality of the food, they ensured a good delivery of the food.
With the hotels spread across large areas in the two cities, the multiple movement of the participants was sure to create a logistics chaos. To bring this situation under control, routes were identified and dedicated for uninterrupted movement of the contingents with appropriate traffic management strategies put in place. GPS-fitted AC buses were provided by the respective state transport departments for monitoring the movements of the contingents. This provided a smooth and comfortable ride to the participants and also ensured that they reached the venues on time.
There was no hiccup, no transport was delayed. This is see what the athlete require, that they should have the proper time buses or transportation are taking them to the venues. All facilities are available at the venues, competitions are held on time.
At an event of this scale, security is a matter of paramount importance, and Northeast being militancy prone made it even more challenging. In order to address this challenge, the organizers held regular meetings with senior officers of various security agencies, and unprecedented security arrangements were mounted. Numerous companies of paramilitary forces were deployed at vantage points to make the security arrangements foolproof.
We had a central level team headed by the Director General of Police. He himself supervised all the operations as to how much will be the requirement of paramilitary forces and coordination with the Army and Air Force. And police spent 60 crores on buying new equipments.
We had thorough briefing to the last man, He knew what he was supposed to do. He was there, his eyes were open, his ears were open, and every person knew what his role was.
The extraordinary coordination between the security agencies and the organizers ensured that no untoward incident took place and the games were conducted incident-free. To build the 12th South Asian Games as a brand, creating an identity was of topmost importance. An identity that took shape as the Games logo. The logo is an epitome of creativity and simplicity and captures the true spirit of the Games. To connect the people with the Games, adaptation of the rare one-horned rhino as the mascot was inevitable. The adorable mascot, the playful Tekor, soon caught the fancy of the people and became a much-loved figure. In the run-up to the Games, Tekor created his own band of fan following. He connected with the people and created a buzz and enthusiasm in the hearts of the people of the two states. The Games torch was yet another concerted effort that united the people of the Northeast. This beautifully designed and crafted world's first ever bamboo torch not only symbolized the spirit of Northeast but also the brotherhood amongst the 8 participating nations.
Organizing of this 12th South Asian Game was one of its largest international event organized in the Guwahati and Shillong. But the entire Northeast states, though they wanted to be connected with this tournament with some kind of connection. So torch relay carrying to all the capitals and involving them, that was the one plank.
The torch relay became instrumental in spreading the message of harmony and cooperation. It bound the people of this region in one unifying thread. It instilled in them a sense of pride and of participation. It not only connected the people with each other, but also connected them to the Games. An intensive 360-degree campaign was launched to involve and engage the people. Intelligent and relevant branding for the Games was well received by the locals as well as the visitors. The cities of Guwahati and Shillong came alive in the colors of the SAG with more than 90 kilometers of road length gleaming with the Games branding. A part of the task that lay ahead was to promote the Games in the participating countries and to seek their maximum participation.
The organizing committee reached out to each participating nation. There were outward delegations which went to each participating nation and briefed them elaborately about the arrangements and removed all apprehensions. Now, Afghanistan had some difficulties and they were having some resource constraints and their participation became doubtful. At that point in time, the Government of India decided that Government of India will charter a flight and bring the Afghanistan contingent because it is essential that every country in the region participates.
The countdown to the Games saw a seminar of the chefs de mission of the participating countries. They visited and inspected the venues from January 10 to January 13, 2016. To say the least, they were highly impressed with the meticulous planning and execution. In each and every aspect, the venues were a testimony to the hard work put in, and the chef's de mission stamp of approval was the validation.
Before coming here, I even didn't heard about Shillong and Guwahati, but after coming here, it's I have noticed that you have done a lot, and all the venues here are very, very fine and very good.
लेकिन यहाँ के लोगों ने थोड़े समय में बड़े अच्छे तैयारी की और मैं हर स्टेडियम पे जा रहा हूँ।
12তম এশিয়া গেমসে গুয়াহাটি এবং শিলংয়ে যে আয়োজন করেছে ইন্ডিয়ান অলিম্পিক অ্যাসোসিয়েশন, এই আয়োজনটা আমি বলবো যে সফল আয়োজন হয়েছে।
After months of rigorous activity, the curtain rose upon the grand sporting extravaganza. On 5th February 2016, the world woke up to the 12th South Asian Games and was made privy to the warmth and hospitality of the Northeast. The efforts of various ministries of the Government of India, state governments of Assam and Meghalaya, and other key players, with the support and guidance of the Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, finally bore fruit and South Asian Games were declared open.
And now, I declare the 12th South Asian Games open. Thank you very much.
What a moment. The games have officially begun.
The opening ceremony was a magnificent spectacle of color, culture, and music coming together in unison to create harmony. The highlight of the ceremony was the rendition of the game's anthem, Ei Prithvi Ek Krirangon, meaning the whole world is a playground. A song that left the audience mesmerized. It was a song that reverberated throughout the games. Enthralling performances, impeccable technology and infrastructure opened windows to the northeastern culture and made the world look towards it with wonder and amazement. Every performance, every feat rang out just one message: India has arrived.
Particularly in this event, it was important to showcase what really India is doing in terms of its people, its culture, its arts. Therefore, we took a metaphor of a river actually. Whether it's a river of people, whether it's a river of sportsmen, whether it's a river of technology, whether it's a river of digital India, whether it's a river of friendship actually. So idea is basically rivers making friends with each other, and therefore river became a metaphor.
Strides increase, off the marks and off they go. Look at the center.
What followed was 12 days of grit and sweat. The highlight of the event was the participation of women in all the disciplines, making it the first ever gender equity sports event. The athletes competed in a healthy environment, each athlete determined to be the best, to bring glory and pride to their nation. The fiercely contested games saw some close results, witnessed records being broken, setting new records. In athletics itself, as many as 12 new games records were made. Of these, 5 were in women's segment and 7 in men's. Where the organizers made the nation proud with the accomplishment of a Herculean task, it was time for the Indian athletes to show their mettle. The South Asian Games 2016 saw the participation of some of the top Indian sportspersons like Mary Kom, Sarita Devi, Jwala Gatta, Gagan Narang, Deepika Kumari among others. But the highlight was the emergence of new stars who were waiting to be born. These spirited young athletes emerged as the new superstars of the Games and announced their arrival on the big stage. The superb performance of the Indian contingent saw them dominate the South Asian Games. India swept the Games with a total tally of 308 medals in her kitty.
हम लोग फर्स्ट सेकंड तीनों इंडिया को मिल लेना, इसलिए बहुत खुश हूँ।
खुशी मुझे आज बहुत ज़्यादा हो रही है क्योंकि मेरे द्वारा आज देश का झंडा ऊपर हुआ है।
मेरी बहुत अच्छी तैयारी थी, मेरे कोचेस, घर वाले सभी ने मेरी बहुत अच्छी तैयारी कराई हुई थी, इसलिए मैं गोल्ड ले पाई हूँ।
मुझे आज साउथ एशियन गेम्स में ब्रॉन्ज मेडल मिला है और मेरा सपना है कि ओलंपिक में मेडल लेने का।
As the saying goes, all's well that ends well. However, there were times when serious concerns emerged regarding information flow about the Games. The absence of a Games result flow system posed a serious challenge.
Games management system or no games management system, the Games will have to go on, and we took it head on, and we replaced it with partially manual, partially automated systems which are designed in-house, and they worked seamlessly.
The official website of the Games became the pillar for the dissemination of information about the Games results. The results were uploaded manually within 90 seconds of the completion of an event. A whopping 1.44 crore hits were registered on the website during the Games.
इस समय आप डीडी स्पोर्ट्स पर देख रहे हैं इसका सीधा प्रसारण और चूक गए अपना जो सर्वश्रेष्ठ प्रदर्शन था उनका जो उन्होंने कीर्ति
The Games were telecast live on DD Sports and connected millions of Indian hearts to the Games.
8 nations.
The ever-gracious host, Doordarshan, provided free signal to the television channels of participating countries, connecting the people across these countries to the Games and, most importantly, to India. Even as the Games were being hotly contested, rigorous activity in the background ensured that they were conducted smoothly and as per the requirements of the international federations. For fair conduct of the Games, the Indian Olympic Association constituted a Games Time Technical Committee which worked in close coordination with the organizers to ensure the flawless conduct of the competitions. In addition, a Games Time Monitoring Group was formed to resolve any issues that erupted during the Games. Work went on round the clock and any glitches that came up were resolved within 24 hours.
We had a very strong mechanism in place. You see, one was pre-Games mechanism and one was Games Time mechanism. For the Games Time, the Games Time management group, which was headed by the CEO, was fully empowered with all the powers of the FC and EC. So it is a fully empowered group. Any decision could be taken.
The successful planning and execution of this sports extravaganza was a combined effort of many. Yet the backbone of the Games remained the volunteers who worked cheerfully and tirelessly for their country's pride. The youth were enthusiastic and eager to be a part of this sporting gala. They were trained in a wide range of subjects that included first aid and emergency response.
We also had a huge number of volunteers who were the face of the Games. They actively participated from morning to night on each and every aspect, be it food, catering, protocol, and I think their active involvement that also helped to to guide the Games and to see the Games through in a manner which everyone will remember.
I'm extremely proud to have volunteered in the Southeast Asian Games which were held recently in the Northeast. I think it gave us immense opportunity and it's prepared us for any other event that will happen in the country.
After 12 days of this mega sporting event, the Games finally concluded on February 16, putting an end to the speculation whether the two cities, Guwahati and Shillong, would be able to host the Games of this magnitude.
I'm happy that we could also organize such a big game.
This event has brought all the SAARC nation to a place, Guwahati and Shillong. And I believe this is the remarkable success for all of us.
This event has really created lots of enthusiasm among the sports persons, particularly the youths from the Northeast.
As you have all seen over the past 2 weeks, rest is history. We have created a history in Guwahati, we have created a history in Shillong.
You will all readily agree with me that this was the best South Asian Games that was ever conducted and the bar has been raised.
The successful conduct of the 12th South Asian Games busted many myths. Like the Games cannot be held without a Games village. Games can only be held in mega cities. Games are very expensive and difficult to afford. And that Games cannot be held in a compressed time frame because government procedures are very cumbersome. The extraordinary courage, passion and determination of all the stakeholders proved that if there is a will and people are positive, then everything is possible.
For me, it was a question of country's prestige. And it was very simple that there is no scope to fail.
When you look back, one of course is the level of satisfaction that people have appreciated and the games are successful.
With limited budgets, the results which have come out before everyone is something, a lesson to be learned.
No incident of corruption or extravagant expenditure has been reported from anywhere. This was the greatest success.
These games, which were seemingly impossible, could be organized very well.
I am sure that this will result in more tourist inflow to the state of Assam and Meghalaya and other states of the northeastern region.
The last race has been run, the last medal won, but the echoes of the 12th South Asian Games continue to reverberate, leaving behind a rich legacy for future generations. The state-of-the-art infrastructure and sporting equipment left behind will facilitate the youth to achieve sporting excellence in future.
After the games, we have been provided with world-class equipments and given opportunities in which local athletes like me can hone our skills and dream about participating in future games.
Thikor will now live long in the hearts and minds of the people of the Northeast. With the upcoming Thikor Park, the trained and skilled workforce, rich in experience, has made the states ready for conducting such mega events in future. Thousands of smiles are a testimony to the stories of magnificence to be told again and again and again, with just one message to the world: play for peace, progress and prosperity.
এই পৃথিবী এক ক্রীড়াঙ্গন, ক্রীড়া হল শান্তির প্রাঙ্গণ। এই পৃথিবী এক ক্রীড়াঙ্গন, ক্রীড়া হল শান্তির প্রাঙ্গণ। এই পৃথিবী এক ক্রীড়াঙ্গন, ক্রীড়াঙ্গন। ये संसार खेल का मैदान है, এই পৃথিবী এক ক্রীড়াঙ্গন। লোকে ক্রীড়া পিটিকি, এই পৃথিবী এক ক্রীড়াঙ্গন।